Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about a deeply emotional and transformative book, Forgiving What You Can't Forget by Lysa TerKeurst. If you've ever struggled with resentment, pain, or the inability to move on from past wounds, this book will change your perspective. Forgiveness isn't easy, and sometimes it feels impossible, but this book helps break down the process in a way that feels real, compassionate, and achievable. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with powerful insights on how to heal, let go, and find peace. Let's dive in. Pain has a way of embedding itself deep within us, affecting how we see the world, how we interact with others, and how we move forward in life. In Forgiving What You Can't Forget, Lysa TerKeurst shares her personal journey of deep hurt, betrayal, and the struggle to forgive. She doesn't offer shallow advice or cliché encouragement. Instead, she provides a raw, honest, and deeply personal perspective on the complexities of forgiveness, recognizing that some wounds seem too deep to heal. The book opens with an acknowledgement of how difficult forgiveness can be. Many people have been hurt in ways that seem impossible to move past: betrayal by a loved one, emotional or physical abuse, abandonment, or the deep scars of injustice. TerKeurst doesn't minimize these experiences. She recognizes that some pains fundamentally change us and leave us questioning whether we'll ever feel whole again. But she also gently challenges the idea that holding on to pain serves us in any way. The inability to forgive, she argues, keeps us trapped in the past, allowing our offenders to continue having power over us. One of the most powerful themes in the book is that forgiveness is not about excusing the wrongs done to us. Many people resist the idea of forgiveness because they believe it means saying that what happened was okay. TerKeurst makes it clear that forgiveness is not about justifying bad behavior, nor is it about reconciling with those who have hurt us. Instead, forgiveness is about freeing ourselves from the grip of resentment and reclaiming our emotional and spiritual peace. Throughout the book, TerKeurst shares her own experiences with devastating betrayals, including the breakdown of her marriage. She describes the deep pain she endured, the sleepless nights, the anger, and the overwhelming feeling that she would never be okay again. She also speaks to the frustration of trying to forgive while still feeling the pain of the hurt. Many people think that forgiveness is a one-time event, but TerKeurst explains that it is often a process, one that requires patience, grace, and a commitment to healing. One of the book's most transformative messages is that forgiveness is not about forgetting. Many people believe that to truly forgive, they must erase painful memories. But TerKeurst argues that some wounds are too deep to be forgotten, and that's okay. The goal is not to erase the past but to change the way it affects us. Rather than allowing painful memories to keep us in a cycle of bitterness and sorrow, forgiveness allows us to rewrite our narratives. We may always remember what happened, but through forgiveness, we can choose to remember it with strength rather than suffering. A major aspect of the book is the exploration of how unforgiveness affects our well-being. Resentment can manifest in many ways: stress, anxiety, broken relationships, and even physical health issues. TerKeurst highlights the scientific and spiritual evidence showing that holding on to grudges only harms the person carrying them. She shares how bitterness can become an emotional poison, affecting not only our relationships with others but also our ability to experience joy, peace, and personal growth. Another powerful insight the book offers is the role of boundaries in forgiveness. Many people think that forgiving means allowing someone back into their lives, but TerKeurst explains that forgiveness and reconciliation are two separate things. Forgiveness is about releasing the burden of resentment, but it does not mean we have to allow toxic or harmful people to remain in our lives. She provides guidance on how to forgive while still maintaining healthy boundaries, ensuring that we protect ourselves from further harm. TerKeurst also delves into the spiritual side of forgiveness, particularly from a Christian perspective. She explores biblical teachings on forgiveness, emphasizing that God does not call us to forgive because He wants us to suffer, but because He wants us to be free. She acknowledges the difficulty of forgiving when we feel justified in our anger, but she also points out that refusing to forgive keeps us chained to our past pain. She encourages readers to see forgiveness as an act of faith, one that ultimately brings healing to our own souls. One of the book's most moving sections is about grief. Many people struggle to forgive because they feel like they have lost something, a relationship, trust, a sense of security, or even part of their identity. TerKeurst walks readers through the process of grieving what was lost, allowing themselves to feel the pain, and then making a conscious choice to move forward. Healing, she explains, is not about rushing past our emotions but about facing them with honesty and courage. The book also touches on the idea of self-forgiveness. Many people carry deep regret for things they have done or mistakes they have made. Just as we can be trapped by the pain others have caused us, we can also be trapped by our own shame and guilt. TerKeurst encourages readers to extend the same grace to themselves that they are learning to extend to others. Self-forgiveness, she argues, is an essential step in the journey toward healing. Another key takeaway from the book is that forgiveness is not always a feeling, it's a decision. Many people wait until they feel ready to forgive, but TerKeurst challenges this mindset. If we wait for our emotions to align perfectly with our desire to forgive, we may never get there. Instead, she encourages readers to choose forgiveness first, and trust that healing will follow. It may not happen overnight, but each small step toward forgiveness is a step toward freedom. The book does not offer easy answers or quick fixes. Instead, it provides a roadmap for real, lasting transformation. TerKeurst acknowledges that some days will be harder than others, and that forgiveness is often something we have to practice again and again. But she also offers hope that even the deepest wounds can heal, that even the most painful pasts can be redeemed, and that even those who feel utterly broken can find wholeness again. The final chapters of the book serve as an encouragement to live a life that is no longer defined by pain. TerKeurst urges readers to step into a future that is no longer overshadowed by the past. Through personal stories, biblical wisdom, and practical strategies, she paints a picture of what life can look like when we let go of resentment and embrace the freedom that comes with forgiveness. Ultimately, forgiving what you can't forget is a powerful reminder that forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about us. It's about breaking free from the emotional chains that keep us stuck. It's about reclaiming our peace, our joy, and our future. If you've ever struggled to move on from pain, this book offers a path forward, one that is filled with grace, strength, and the promise of a more beautiful life ahead.